fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Philadelphia Eagles. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
We saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 29. A big-time play there for the Texans. 42 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd down, it's Tate. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by his former FSU teammate Jalen Ramsey. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Gallman will run it. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Winston. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Out of his end zone, Bridgewater finding his safety valve here. That's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got his guys set up great now. First and goal, and the Pigs get it the 7-yard line. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close, and it's not something they even imagine, because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning. They got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
From the 3-yard line again, they'll try and punch it in here on 3rd and goal.
Ready? Black 22. Let's go.
From the gun, Winston steps away to his, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And Myers able to knock it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd down, Bridgewater. James has got it, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Here we go, gotta go.
On 3rd down, that's Tate, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Room to run past midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. 15 yards. The Texans pick up the 1st down.
That's another nice run. And I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now they try the right side here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
So many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defense...
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his second touchdown on the season, and the Texans will add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Now Gallman spinning away, and he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah.
Hey, let's get a conversion.
Second down, Winston. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Now a second down throw for Winston. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Here's Gallman. And an alley to run. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles get a score closer.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A huge play there for Houston. 58 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Bridgewater throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. This is Golden. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Even. Ready.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Ready. Back 25 to hut.
They'll begin with a run by Gallman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back.
Ready. Blue lady.
A 1st down throw for Winston. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw is Winston. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
And they'll run it here. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Ready. Black 22. Let me go. Waru23's behind.
Now Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Jameis to throw it. And Jameis intercepted a third time. Cyrus Jones picks it, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they'll go on the ground. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing, Bridgewater. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First down, Bridgewater. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. First down throw for Bridgewater. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Texans will add on to their lead. He's got the hat trick. 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out?
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for him. A nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
Pinheiro now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
action. Winston. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. Coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. The Eagles on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be third and forever. They run it with Carson. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now out comes Houston. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Desmond King making the tackle.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. And on the stop, DeMonte Casey.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Texans on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Texans send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Hey, stop.
First down, Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Quinn. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
Hey, stop.
On 1st and 10, Winston. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle made by Montravius Adams. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Got a man, that's Quinn. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Third and short yardage, Winston. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, you know, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is. I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams. They put it all together, and I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Mack on the toss, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Bridgewater. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. The Texans send the punter out, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. Yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Checking the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th now in Minneapolis. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Here's Winston, and he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, stop.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And incomplete here on 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Throwing here, Bridgewater. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On third down, it's Tate. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On the stop was Aaron Donald. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Texans, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.